Pillars of Eternity 1 guide, Barbarian build. I gave the build for the Barbarian on Maneja for the dual wielding. Now we're gonna do a Barbarian as a two-handed Barbarian for the main character, for the Watcher. This build was made to work on Pot of the Damned difficulty, and if it works on the hardest difficulty available, it will work on all other difficulties as well. And let's go. For the Barbarian, what you wanna take is a race Aumua into Coastal Aumua for the better defenses against Prone and Stun. This is the best possible thing that you can take as a Barbarian, race and sub-race. So, in a character creation screen, we wanna hit hard, so that's why 18 points into Might, we dump Resolve to 5, and we go 14 points into Constitution, Dexterity, and Perception, and 12 points into Intelligence, into Intellect. Of course, we play Barbarian as Aumua. For level 1, this is very simple. We're taking Frenzy, extra Might, extra Constitution, and we say next. On level 2, we are pumping Survival all the way up, and we say next. Immediately we're taking Greater Frenzy for even bigger buff on Frenzy. On level 3, we're going with Survival, 7 points for damage reduction 2, and then we're pumping up Athletics, and we say next. The very first thing that we're gonna learn is Blooded as Barbarian ability. Extra damage when endurance below 50. You'll be below 50 non-stop as a Barbarian, basically. On level 4, we're going with Athletics, we say next. And now, for the offensive, we can play Barbarian with a mace, with a greatsword, or with Estak. Two-handed Estak, two-handed greatsword, and two-handed mace. If you plan to play with a mace, you will take Noble. If you plan to play with Estak, you will take Adventurer. If you plan to play with a greatsword, you're gonna take Soldier. And now it's completely your choice how you wanna build this. This is the entire difference among 3 builds, what you're gonna take as a weapon focus. In this case, I recommend taking Estak. So we're gonna take Adventure. On level 5, we're going with Athletics. We say next. And now it's very simple. It's for the ability. It's one stands alone. I don't need to explain why. It's OP. Really, really OP as fuck. We go with one stands alone. For level 6, we're going with Athletics. We say next. And now into the offensive talents, we're gonna take extra damage with a two-handed style, 15% more damage, and we finish level 6. On level 7, we're going with Athletics. We say next. And on level 7, for the Barbarian ability, we're taking Thick Skinned. Very simple, 3 damage reduction flat on Slash, Pierce, and Crush. Extremely useful. On level 8, we're pumping up that Athletics for the second wind. We say next. And now, into defensive talents, we want to take Superior Deflection, +5 to Deflection. On level 9, we're taking Athletics. Next, we're taking the Barbaric Shout for the Barbarian ability. It's 24 seconds of Terrify. Terrify is a tremendous debuff, and this is an easy choice here. On level 10, we're keeping the points for Athletics, and we say next. And now, because we took Terrify, it's time to take the Sneak Attack for extra 15% melee damage to crowd-controlled enemies. That's how Sneak Attack works, after all. On level 11, we're taking Athletics. We say next. And now it's time to take some healing, or better to say some defenses. Savage Defiance, extra endurance over time is the Barbarian ability we're gonna take. On level 12, we're taking Athletics. And now we're gonna upgrade Defiance for extra defenses. Not only now that it's gonna recover endurance, it's also gonna give +10 to all defenses. Extremely useful ability. On level 13, we're keeping the points for level 14. We say next. And now it is time for the Dragon Leap, one of the best abilities that exists in a game, especially on a Barbarian. On level 14, we're taking Athletics. We say next. And now it's time to sacrifice some accuracy for the Savage Attack, 20% more melee damage. On level 15, we're keeping the points for level 16. We say next. And now we got 2 options. One option, if you play with hammers, you're gonna go with a brute force. If you play with a great sword or with Estak, you're gonna go with the barbaric retaliation. So we're playing an S-Stack build now, so we're gonna take Barbaric Retaliation. On level 16, we're taking Athletics, and the rest of the points, you can go a point into Stealth, point into Mechanics, and finish the skills. Now, if we're playing with a two-handed mace build, okay, then we're gonna go with Interrupting Blows for the final talent. If we play with great swords and with S-Stacks, then we go with a Bloody Slaughter. In this case, we're gonna take Bloody Slaughter. So I gave you 3 different builds through one leveling, basically. You decide how you wanna play a two-handed Barbarian now. And this is how we finish level 16 Barbarian. How do we play Barbarian? This is very, very simple. You ramp up Frenzy, you go with a Barbaric Shout, terrify enemies, you jump into them with a Dragon Leap. If they are harder to kill, you trigger Savage Defiance for extra defenses, extra endurance, and you start whacking them with basic attack and with Watcher abilities. That's the entire philosophy. Do not forget to trigger Savage Attack for 20% extra damage, and that's it. If you're getting low, you just ramp up Second Wind for the additional heal. So basically you got 2 heals, you got Mobility with a Dragon Leap, you got Crowd Control with Terrify, and Barbarian can kill enemies basically with a basic attack. Now what about Itemization? For the Helmet, Hermes Hat, Immunity to Confusion, +2 to Intellect. For the Cloak, all defenses, Cloak of Comfort. For Bracers, Flat Deflection. Ring 1, Fortitude Reflex Will. Ring 2, Flat Dexterity, +3. Belt, +3 to Might, Sentinel's Girdle. Boots, defenses against Stuck, Paralyzed, and Hobbled with Fenwalkers. Summon, Pet, Console Hut, of course, later on in the game when you find them. And armor, the best one in the game on a Barbarian is Jack of White Waters. Absolutely the best light armor that you can equip on a main Watcher. Also, there are 3 very good armors. That would be Raiment of Whale's Eyes, Husk of the Great Western Stag, and Elrin's Jacket. You can also consider equipping those. You always want to be in light armor. As far as weapon goes, if you opted in for the build with maces, the best freaking, not maces, Warhammers, I switched the weapon focus on maces. You need to upgrade Warhammers for the Abaddon's Hammer because it's a Warhammer, so you gotta take the weapon focus that gives Warhammer. So if you opted in to level up your Barbarian with a Warhammer, this is the best one in the game by far. But you need to start the DLC earlier in the game so you can actually get it for the rest of the game. It's absolutely nuts. Now, we're making an S-Stack build, yeah, and the best weapon by far would be the Grey Sleeper. You can find it in the DLC. Also, very good S-Stacks would be the Drake Bell and the Blade of Endless Pots. Blade of Endless Pots is classic, you get it in Odd Nua. I mean, you find parts to craft it in Odd Nua, and Drake's Bell is the best S-Stack that you can buy early game. So, DLC, Great Sleeper, Odd Nua, Endless Pots, and you can buy this, I think it was in the city, in Defiance Bay somewhere. As far as great swords go, of course the best one is St. Edwin Redeemer, Soulbound Greatsword, and absolutely the best greatsword in the game as far as uniques go, it's Tidefall. Tidefall is very easy to acquire early on in the game. All you need to do is kill the red dragon and have high enough mechanics so you can detect the sword and loot it. That's it with a Barbarian. It's very, very simple to play, very powerful, and extremely good in combat. Now, I gave you dual wielding build with Maneja for the Barbarian, and I gave you 3 different builds for the Barbarian as a two-handed weapon Barbarian. And that's it with Barbarian. Basically, you don't need to play him any other way. This is good enough. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. Thanks for watching.